Tell me if God be for me, He's more than the world against me. He is the rock of ages. He is the rock of ages. I can call him when I need him. I will follow when it is. What the devil meant for evil, God will turn it. God will turn it. God will turn it. No, 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 no. No, 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 no.
And ears have not heard. Some of y'all missed it. I'll do it again. I want us to dance corporately for what eyes have not seen and what ears have not heard. Some of y'all can only shout for what you see. But can I get everybody that's got an unfulfilled promise from God, something that God showed you that you ain't walked in yet? I want you to loose yourself and dance right now for what God is getting ready to do. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Y'all to praise him up here for what God hasn't shown you yet. You saw it in the spirit, but you haven't seen it in manifestation yet. I wish I had about 300 people that would shout right now for YLC Studios. I wish we gotta go. I wish you would comment what you're shouting that God is getting ready to do. Open your mouth and shout right now.
Yes, sir.
Hey,
Y'all know what it is.
this one.
Hey, hey.
Oh, yeah.
Woo, no, 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 no.
Woo. That feel good.
You gotta come up with a run. They're not gonna outdo
Oh,
us.
no, I know my lane. That's big brother stuff.
All right. Hey, what's up, guys? I hope you guys are having an amazing day, an amazing night. Thank you guys for joining us for another podcast. I would tell you what the name of it is, but
We'll get there.
we're going to get there. And by God's grace and with your help, we're going to get there, hopefully sooner than later. But I'm here with a few of my brothers, and we're going to dig into some amazing conversation, and hopefully you guys will get something great out of it. But before we do anything, I need you to go ahead and lean on that share button.
Lean on it.
Lean hard on it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And make sure, don't only share it, get inside those comments and tag a few people and let them know that we're in this studio, or in our podcast room, rather. And we're getting ready to dig into some great conversations. You guys know anytime that we come on, we like to have a great time and still talk about some very real subjects that hopefully will bring some understanding, healing, you name it, to you guys. So Again, lean on that share button. If you're on YouTube, then I need you to subscribe as well.
Absolutely, please subscribe.
Even now.
Even now. Yeah, so I need you guys to go ahead and subscribe if you're on YouTube. Tag some people, get them in here, and we're going to jump into this conversation. You already know what my name is. Well, maybe you don't.
You had a little Kenneth on you.
I had a little Kenneth on me.
Y'all know who I am. Everybody knows who I am. I'm Mr. Viral himself. Mr. 100,000 views guaranteed. That's me.
Gosh.
You know my name.
Humbly speaking.
You worn my sweatshirts. Huh? You don't. Okay.
Humbly speaking.
Humbly speaking. It's a transfer of spirits taking place.
And it's his fault. It's his fault.
I don't know.
We're going to talk about this because...
Did you also go to Harvard? Are you okay?
Oh,
no,
wow.
I didn't either.
I didn't go to Harvard.
Harvard of the South.
Speaking of
I'm
Harvard,
being dragged
you
right
have
now.
lowly Antwaun here, and we're going to go diagonal. How about this? We're going to start.
You're lowly,
stand?
but your name is on your shirt. Ooh, that's a kingdom.
I didn't put this here. My assistant.
He has an assistant.
Humbly.
Oh, he's got an assistant. He don't even dress himself. That's a stylist. That's what that is. I don't pick my clothes. I just... okay.
I'm just here. You are. Will you please tell me?
My name is Kenneth Moles III. I'm just a lowly servant here, just trying to serve as best as I can.
Wow.
And you attend.
I attend Harvard Divinity, humbly speaking.
Did y'all hear how unhumble the humble
That
was? There's not an ounce of humility in the humble.
Nah.
First of all, he don't pronounce the H. I'm humbly speaking.
Humbly.
Okay. All right.
Speaking. Yeah.
Got you. Got you.
And beside you.
God bless you. I'm Aaron Perkins. That's right. ERYNN Perkins. Bless you. Bless you. That's it. I don't have to tell you any titles or anything like that, where I've been. That's enough. I'm the sweet baby raised in spirit and truth.
As you just said, I don't need to say that.
So you're saying you're the sauce.
Okay. All right.
They've been dry too long. Just a sauce.
All right. Bring it back in.
Come on, gather.
Gather. Hold it.
Hold it.
Okay. All right.
That is
Shut it on out. Thank you.
That's what it is. I am Mark Moore Jr., and they let me work here. So that's what that is. But we need your help. We have a little bit of a situation because our brothers are here, and we are in 2022 coming for everything that belongs to us. We are possessing and taking territory. Yeah. And so one of the things, clap for that. Thank you, sir. One of the things that we want to do, and we were talking about earlier, is curate a podcast and content dedicated specifically to conversations with men, for men, about everything from culture to faith to politics to sports to family, the whole nine. And the problem is we don't know what to call it.
My Lord.
So y'all don't know what to call it, but I know exactly what we need to call it.
That's that name on the shirt talking. Y'all hear that? That's the name on the shirt. We talking about brotherhood, and we gotta just lifting up his own kingdom. Okay, we'll get to that. But we have some different names, and we need you all at home to help us decide. Okay, first of all, camera operator, follow me. I don't follow you. You follow me. If I'm looking over here, you look over here. If I'm looking at 2, now go to 2. See how that works? Don't have me torn between 2 opinions.
Rebuke.
Huh? Now I got to set order in this house.
Oh my God.
It's your house.
I don't follow you. You follow me. If I look over here, you follow me.
That's right.
If I get up and start walking, follow me.
That's right.
Got me looking, jumping back and forth, red light, follow me. Just see, this is why we need, this is why. Bible says they that sin rebuke before all that others may fear. Is that in your Bible?
That's in my Bible.
Let the church say man.
Amen.
Amen.
Now, like I said, camera one, see, you're getting better. God bless you. Like I said, we need a name for this conversation. Aaron got a name. Kenneth got a name. Antwaun got a name.
I most certainly do.
And I have a name that's above every name. And we're trying to decide. What Kenneth, what are you trying to call this?
I think it should be called Brother. Wow.
Like a spit off.
Do you have a womp, 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 womp?
Wow.
That fit.
That's great. That's great.
Thank you, Kenneth. If you want to call it brother, then leave a comment. Just hashtag brother.
No, just put Harvard.
Oh, wow.
Hey, let's call him an Uber. Let's call him an Uber. Okay. All right. Let's get
God can use that. God can use that.
Oh, okay. It's that false humility. Okay. Aaron, what are you suggesting?
Listen, I am kind of torn in between two. I'm thinking, the locker room, you know what I'm saying? Or, something like Big Brother, Little Brother. No, it's not creepy.
Yeah, that's
Strange.
That's a little creep. Strange fire.
Strange fire.
That's strange fire.
Just, something to throw out there. If you like my idea, support me.
Okay, so
Wow.
you got two ideas that nobody. Nobody liked any of those. So there's that. Antwaun, what do you propose?
All right, so I have old brother, where art thou?
Boo, shut up.
That's a
Terrible.
or what's up, bro?
Because we're 12 and it's 2003. That's good. Word. So now that we've got that, if you want to put "What's up, bro" in the comments, then you can go ahead and do that for whatever reason. But what I think we should do, I've got something that can pull in different elements
Okay.
of what we're doing, right? A little bit of what you said, a little bit of what you said, a little bit of what you said, but it all points to what I'm saying,
Okay.
right? And it connects the dots. I think that being sensitive to our environment, we should call it gray table talk.
It reminds
Now,
me.
wait. There's a dual meaning here, because we all know that gray is synonymous with uncertainty. Gray is synonymous with areas that you don't have clarity in. It's not white, it's not black, it's gray. We're here at the gray table
To talk about the gray area.
to talk about the gray areas. I'll help you. And to provide clarity.
That's how I feel.
Hey, we need a new minister of music. We're now taking applications. You can email us at exploreYLC.com. Thank you, Evangelist Brittany.
Could you please let her know when I'm available?
That is
She
so
needs the vocal
good.
coach.
That is so
So I think we should call it gray table talk because we're tackling the gray areas.
Okay.
I actually like that. Now, when you put
Now that you
spin-
put it out there,
I think we ought to call it no gray.
Okay, now you just bid. Why would we do that?
Being rebellious.
A Jonathan McReynolds album? That's what we should do?
Jonathan's a great guy.
That's just
Because what happens is we need to talk about whether we're going to separate these issues. Everything can't be gray. We gotta we have to.
Which
say
is why
what,
we gonna shine light
what we
at the gray table.
what we stand for, because you got white and black, mix it together. What do you have? I'm talking Revelation now. Follow me.
That's not Revelation. That's preschool.
That's
That's that Crayola 64 count box. That's
Well, he said he
put
went to
them together.
Harvard, but
when you put them together, like, what type of gray are you talking? Pencil gray, lead?
this gray, that gray.
Like, I'm confused.
they both. If we're gonna talk about the gray table, which one are we talking about?
We're talking about the gray area. You're talking about no gray.
yeah. See, a double-minded podcast is
I'm very
unstable in all its
confused.
ways. So what I think we should
Great.
do, let's let the people decide.
Let's do that.
Let's be democratic in our approach, and we'll let the people decide and weigh in. So we got his terrible idea, his terrible idea, his terrible idea, and then the idea I'm going with, we're going to go with the gray table talk. Wow. So you all vote. Let the Lord, I don't want to sway anybody's vote, vote your conscience. Who are me to judge, So if you think we should go with the bad ideas that you've heard from these three, then you feel free to say
That's
that.
rich.
Right.
That's
Feel free.
really rich.
Or you can get on my team because you know I'm a winner and go with the gray table talk. But we want to hear from you. So go ahead, drop your name. But let's get into a discussion here because
Yeah.
we were having a genuine, legitimate conversation.
Legit.
And it seriously, it got so good. We said, we need to probably record this.
Yeah.
Because there are other brothers out there and even some of our sisters that maybe want to kind of hear our thoughts on this. And the subject that we really kind of started talking about was the pandemic. And I'm not talking about COVID. I'm not talking about mumps or measles. I'm talking about the pandemic of spiritual fathers and sons.
Right.
There is a global, worldwide crisis all over the church. This is not a Pentecostal thing. This is not a Baptist thing. This is not an AME thing. This is a issue that we see across denominational lines,
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
across racial lines, color lines. And we were sharing some ideas about this whole spiritual father, spiritual son thing. And I think we should just kind of start there.
Yeah.
What are we saying? Antwaun, let's kick it to you. What are we kind of seeing in this whole climate environment? It's a new year, and some of the same old things seem to be prevalent. What are your thoughts on this whole father-son, spiritual father-son dynamic?
I feel like we have there's a huge deficit in fathers. Well, let me take that back. I don't want to say there's a huge deficit in fathers, because I believe that there are some spiritual fathers that are in place and available.
Yeah.
I feel like that there's a disconnection between the generations, right? So you have some fathers that they're accustomed to an older way, right? And I'm not saying this is everybody, but I'm speaking like the bulk of the problem. What I feel like the bulk of the problem is that you have fathers that are from an older age, an older time, an older place, right? And then you have a generation that really doesn't identify with a lot of those same values, right? They don't have the same amount of stick-to-itiveness. They don't have the same amount of allegiance or being loyal, because our security, if you look at the pattern or the stencil of how things went, back in the day, you go to school, you graduate, either you go to college or you get a trade or something like that. You stick to it for however many years, and then you retire, and that is your security, right? The security of Generation Z and X and whatever else, their security is in living out whatever their dream is, right? This is the reason why you can have, I'm exaggerating, but 10 people inside of a 1-bedroom apartment in New York.
Yeah.
And all that matters is, I'm living out my dream. And they're secure in that, right? And this older generation doesn't necessarily understand or relate to that. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't really connect. I feel like it's going to take conversations like this, and for us to be intentional in building that bridge.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to have to be intentional about building that bridge. And then there's that side where people do want to be fathered, right? And they're looking for that validation from some of anywhere, right? Because even if you have a father, sometimes it's different getting praise or verbal validation, et cetera, from an outside source, right? Because even for myself, right? Let me talk about me real quick. I know that my father loves me without a shadow of a doubt, right? So he is going to speak into me and pour into me, da-da-da-da-da. But the opposite, not the opposite side of that, what is also a reality of that is that you are biased.
Right.
Wow. Yeah.
There's a natural biasness that my father has. And so sometimes when you're trying to do your own thing or stretch out or whatever, sometimes it's hard to take the opinion of someone that is biased. I know you love me. I know that you want to see the best for me. Sometimes they want to get that outside, you know what I'm saying? Somebody that's not biased, that is going to give you, not even saying that your father won't give you the ugly truth, but sometimes it's different getting it outside. And so we find ourselves looking for that validation from different spaces, right? Which is really, really weird because God ordained or God put that in place for us to have a father for a specific purpose. Even those that don't have a biological father, right? God put the plan in place for a specific reason. We should not seek any validation outside of God, number one. And then I feel like our fathers, our natural fathers. And I understand everybody doesn't have one. And I think that's a sensitive subject all by itself.
Right. Yeah.
I would love to hear from somebody that is on the, you know what I'm saying, a different side. I think all of us.
No, I'm on the different side.
Okay.
I love my father, but it's hard when you are on different paths. And, you know, there are different perspectives and there are different things that happen in life that are behind your control. And it causes you to have to make a decision about, okay, as I'm growing up, what do I take and then what do I spit out? Because my father could teach me how to be a man in the world, but he can't teach me how to be a man of God. You know, so he'll be like, all right,
I get that.
All right, son, you know, it's about that time you ought to start, you know, well, no, Dad, I don't think I want to start doing that because I want to live for God. Well, you know, you're still a man, but I want to live for God, you know. So you have that battle when your father may not be 100%, you know, like my father loves God. He was a minister of music for a long time, and then he got into the entertainment industry, and it was a rap, you know. So the entertainment industry, come on in.
You got to watch the ministers of music.
You got to watch.
I'm saying you got the ministers of music. You start putting their names up. I don't see Jesus' name on the shirt. He said, "If I be lifted up." Okay.
He's in me.
He's in you. Right. Come on here.
I'm just saying. So yeah, so that's difficult, but that's what brotherhood is important, because when you have the right brothers that are on the same path, that have the same desire, then you have somebody that could hold you accountable.
But Erynn, I'm glad you said that. Antwaun, I'm glad you said what you said. But here's, I think, where some of the problem comes in. When there are deficits and voids, yes, you need brothers. But my observation, not that that's certainly the end-all be-all, but my observation is that so few brothers actually want to be brothers.
Hey,
that's real.
To me, it's either for many people, it's spiritual father or bust. Yeah, so
that's weird.
A lot of especially come on, let's talk for real.
Yeah.
real.
In ministry, whether it's music ministry, preaching ministry, pulpit ministry, marketplace, whatever the case is, so many of us enter into every relationship with this almost internal clock set on how quickly can I make this my son. Mm-hmm. So I'm not legitimately trying to be a friend. I'm not legitimately trying to get to know you and bear your burden as a brother. I'm trying to son you. Right. And I mean, you know, this is a transparent thing. I can't tell you how many, and I understand, you know, with the seasoned, you know, fathers and you know, I'm blessed to have a world's best father in my mind, right? Mm-hmm. But because of that and by public association with my actual dad, many have been smoother with it. But I still get these older cats that are trying to, especially when the conference started growing, you know, ministry start doing well, studios are coming into for whatever, you know, I get a lot of nephew.
Oh,
yeah, they love that.
What throws me off, especially prior to this space God has us in now, how many guys that were my age,
calling you son,
you know, trying to son me,
right.
like wild.
Yeah.
It's weird.
It's wild.
What? Wait,
super weird.
What?
And if they're not trying to son you, then they're trying to compete with you.
Exactly, which is another form almost of trying to son you.
Yeah.
So it's that one-upsmanship. I'm the biggest. I'm the best. I'm the whatever.
It's ridiculous.
What happened to brotherhood? I think brotherhood is a lost art. Kenneth, what do you think?
I think brotherhood is a lost art primarily because we don't have the definition of sonship. I really feel as though when we come into the world, we become a child, which means that there's some type of parenting. There's some type of sonship going on, and that's not gender specific, but there's some type of sonship going on. And I think that before we can become brothers, we must first learn how to be a son. And I think that is the issue. And because we lack fathers, we don't have so many fathers in the world. I think there are a lot of people who did not learn how to be a son. So so they're trying to translate that relationship of sonship, and they're making that and they're translating it into brotherhoods. Yeah. So there's always in a lot of brotherhoods that I've been observing from afar, amongst those brothers, there's always someone who either like pushes himself to become like the father or the chief or over everybody. Right. And what I've noticed is a lot of those people have issues with sonship. Yeah. They have issues with their father. And some things may not have been resolved. There might be trauma, you know, there might be, hey, we never saw eye to eye type of thing. However, I think it all goes back to sonship and submission. A lot of people don't want to be submitted. They don't have the wherewithal to submit everything to another individual.
That's good.
I feel like there's another organic side that has to do with that. Dudes, guys, men are naturally competitive.
Yeah,
absolutely.
You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And so I think that may be another thing that kind of weighs in on that. Like, and it doesn't have to be forced. Sometimes it's subconscious, like they don't know, you know what I'm saying, that they're necessarily doing it. Mm-hmm. And I agree with the fact that if that isn't checked or if that isn't dealt with when you're younger, you know what I'm saying, it'll manifest, you know what I'm saying, in different ways. And I don't think I'm a very, very big person. I'm really big on intentions, right?
Right.
But I feel like a lot of people may not necessarily know that there is a problem.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? It's almost like this is just pretty much the way the world is. Like, okay, you know, either, you know, I'm going to be in charge or somebody got to take charge or, you know what I'm saying? I know for a while, it was really, it's really, really hard when you're conscientious of your imperfections and your mistakes, sometimes it is hard for me to give advice.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
It's
hard for me to give advice because sometimes you fail to recognize that you're the veteran in the room, right? Yeah. Good story. I came to Kenneth's recording.
Ah, okay.
His live recording, and I'm like, I'm the oldest person in here. What is going on? That hardly ever happens. You know what I'm saying? I've been in music ministry.
You're the rabbi. You're the sage.
The rabbi.
No, man. I've been in music ministry for a while, and I've always had the backseat. I'm a servant. I really am. Humbly speaking. That's your statement. But because of that, I've always been in the company of people that were older than me, right? And because I had a father, I understood what it was to sit back, serve, do what I'm told, et cetera, et cetera. And so when I came to that recording, it really sucker punched me like, yo, Angel, because people were looking at me for answers. The truth is, I do have some answers, some expertise, some knowledge, et cetera, but I know how far from perfect I am. Who goes out fishing for liability? Who goes out fishing to you know what I'm saying? To have the weight of that responsibility. That is so crazy. So these 12-year-old bishops.
Come on.
Hey, I can. Oh, Mark, I'm gonna turn to the wall while I say this. I can count like clockwork and go on IG. And I'm gonna find 12-year, 15-year-old
views
prophets.
going down. They watching right now.
The 15-year-old prophets
They watching right
that
now.
are online prophesying to each other
With their
literally.
hashtag.
Hey, you go. Well, what I feel like the Lord is saying is that God is going to He is going to bless you, and He is going to do something great. I'm finished. You go.
How were you the senior class president of your high school and the chief presiding apostle at the same time?
How
You're not
does it
old
work?
enough. You're not old enough to rent a car.
But you old
It's
enough
weird.
to have
But you
blood on
got
your
folk
hands.
tied. But see, part of it is, I love what
so
you're
They
saying.
don't
weighted.
see it like that.
Part of it is, though, you've got people who have never been fathered trying to be a father. And what it ends up being, here's the word, it ends up being a caricature.
Yes.
So this is what I ain't never had one. And again, let me be very clear. We're not at all demonizing anybody for what they didn't have. Not at all. Not at all.
Right.
But if you've never had it, if you've never sought it out, you got to be careful trying to rush to be what you've never seen.
Yeah.
Because you end up becoming what you think this looks like.
Yep.
And so a lot of the control and the pursuit of power, back to the baby bishops, you're trying to do that because you see, if I'm this, people gonna serve me.
Yeah.
I haven't done anything in the world
Yep,
that matters.
yep,
I haven't done anything in the
yep,
city.
yep.
I haven't done anything in my community. But if I get this title, when I walk in the room, they got to stand up and clap.
Yep.
So people gonna serve me. I'm gonna get a Rolex and a Range Rover, and I'm gonna be important, and I'm gonna get to wear a collar and a purple shirt. No, nobody want to be bishops no more. I want a red shirt. I want to be the chief apostle,
wanna be apostle.
and a gold chain I got from the mall cart.
And you don't know English.
You know, I got a Latin logo though,
It
Yikes.
makes no sense.
because you've never had it, and you're trying to be what you've never seen.
And you've never allowed God to be that for you. So I've always, I now as a child, my father traveled a lot for his job. You know, he's an entertainer. So I never had the relationship I always necessarily wanted because he traveled. But because I fell in love with God, I learned who Abba was. And when you learn who God the Father is in your life, then you that's the problem. Everybody's trying to be a father. If you don't have a father, I would encourage you to let God be. Like, don't walk around here beating yourself up, beating up your deadbeat dad. Don't waste your time doing that. Let God be your father.
That's good.
And allow him to comfort you, to be there for you. You know why I was happy? You know, even though my dad may not have made it to every speech that I gave, God was there. So I knew that God was still standing in the gap for my dad who was working to make sure everything was taken care of. So, I mean, you have to not look for an excuse or, you know, a reason to, you know, to say, look, well, this is why I act the way I act. This is why I do what I do. No, let God fill that void. That's what I
Boy, and that's a big thing.
That's what I'll say.
That I feel as though is going on with the whole spiritual son type of thing. There is some type of void. You know, you didn't see your father there. So, you know, if your father wasn't there sometimes, psychologically speaking, males, they assume the role of like, I'm the man of the house.
Yeah.
So they feel that type of responsibility to lead. And I think that that's kind of transferred over into church. You don't feel as though the father is there and things of that sort. So, you know, you dip and you go off and do your own thing because you're just assuming this responsibility. And even, you know, when my dad was traveling across the country preaching and things of that sort, there was a war between me and my brother. And it took my father to come back and be like, no, y'all got to work this thing out.
Right.
But sometimes, like, and when we're looking outside of it, my father was able to come back. Some of us who do not have fathers, you need to allow for God to come into your life and be like, no, this is not what needs to go on.
Right.
You know, one of the things I think we would be derelict in our duties if we had this conversation about what fathers aren't and what fathers don't look like without also giving an idea of what they do.
Yeah.
Right. Absolutely.
One of the things that I think is important to note is that biblically, culturally, whatever, a father provides identity. I know who I am because my father told me. I am Mark Andrew Moore Jr. I carry my father's name, first, middle, and last. I'll never forget the experience of being a little boy in school, bringing home a report card that was less than stellar. Areas you could have done better than that. I'll never forget my father sitting down, side of the bed, talking to me, going over this. Not yelling, not screaming, not hitting, but I'll never forget. My father asked me on one occasion, he said, "What is your name?" I said, "Mark." A little ashamed of what I'd done and didn't do. I wasn't applying myself, you know. He said, "No, what's your whole name?" "Mark Moore." He looked at me and said, "Because of that, son, I expect more out of you." In other words, he was telling me that because of who you are, because of what has been put in you, this is what you're to produce. You get A's. Oh, no, you're a scholar. Why? Because you're Mark Moore. He gives identity. In the Bible, it was the Father's job to name the Son. I'm going to tell you who you are.
Yeah,
I'm going to tell you. And so part of the identity crisis that we see going around so many places is because of the absence of the lack of fathers. You've got a lot of little boys in grown man bodies.
Right.
Got a lot of little boys with full beards. A lot of little boys with cars of their own and homes of their own and all of this that don't know who they are because the Father gives identity. And so what I'm saying and suggesting is that if you're in a position where you don't have that, again, to be clear, that is not your fault.
No.
Dad left, dad passed, went dead, whatever the case is, it's not your fault that you don't have it. But at a certain point, it does become your responsibility. Once you've been able, I'm big on this. You talked about being big on intention. I'm big on this statement. The moment you become aware, you become responsible.
Agreed.
So once you reach the point where you realize, you know what, I think that some of these things, I've tried to fill this or find myself in a bottle or in women or in how many beds I can get in. I've tried to find myself in how much money I can make or the stuff I can accumulate and buy and purchase. None of that has worked. I've got to avoid because I got daddy issues.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. But once you become aware, you now become responsible.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
To seek this out.
See, but I also feel when you become aware and when you're, again, here is when brothers come involved.
Right.
When we become aware, then it's our responsibility, I feel like, as a brother, as a friend, and it doesn't necessarily mean that I just let you off the hook.
Right.
But it's almost like, hey, I provide that. Not I discovered he doesn't know who he is. Let me be your father. Pat you on.
Right.
No. It's almost like,
Yeah,
hey,
got one.
hey, bro, however I can help you. Hey, that may have not have been the right choice. But I've jacked up like that too. You know what I'm saying? There's a way of it being, there's an equilibrium there that you don't go to the extreme and then you don't have to necessarily fall back because there is, although you don't have the authority of a father, there's still a significant real role of a brother.
Absolutely.
And watch this, it may not be a father role, but it's a powerful role.
It's necessary. Brothers matter. Uncles matter. Mentors matter. I remember a story, Kenneth and Antwaun. I might be telling it wrong, so forgive me. But I think my brother was saying, we're PKs, so in the church, there are always going to be, as any ministry grows, there are going to be, younger guys that maybe don't have a father figure. And so to show the importance of that community of men, the community of healthy, integral, godly men. I remember, I think my brother was telling me the story. He was in the restroom, went to the restroom at church, and one of the little boys came in, and little boy, single mother, doing the best she can, and little man walked in, and he went into the toilet area, and he pulled his little pants down. He sits down. He uses the restroom real fast, hops up, comes out. He's washing his hands, and my brother, for whatever reason, said something. Being a big. He said, "Hey man, you wash it. Make sure you use soap." And he said something like, I only went number one.
Yeah.
And he said, but you went in and sat down on the thing. He said, yeah, that's how you use the bathroom. My brother said, no, you had to do number one, buddy? He said, yeah, I had to do number one. He said, well, why'd you go sit the little urinals? Why didn't you? He said, no, you sit down to use the bathroom. My brother had in the presence of mind to realize, wait a minute.
Yeah.
This boy has been sitting down
Wow.
to use the bathroom, and we grown number one.
Yeah.
Because he's never had a man tell him what a urinal is for.
Yeah, man.
Now, I know that seems small, but it's those moments that little brother is gonna remember. I believe from now till eternity. Oh no. And my brother, thank God, because he's been fathered. He was so wise, and he said, no, buddy. When we got to do number one, brothers, we go to this over here, and we stand up.
Yeah.
And little man, I thought you, because all he's ever seen.
All he's ever seen. Yeah.
Is you.
Yep.
Now that's small, but that's a metaphor for so much.
Correct.
Until you see it. Until somebody take no. You can insert any example you want. No, this is how you tie your tie.
Right.
No, buddy. This is how you shave. These are pivotal moments that if somebody, and we're talking about fathers, but we're also talking about brothers.
Yes.
So it might not be dad, but it might be a big brother or a mentor or uncle. Or, no, buddy, this is how we do this.
Yeah.
Hey, do you know how to change the tire? No, come on, let me show you. Because you might be riding with mom one day.
Yes.
And mom gets a flat. You're not going to be sitting in the car playing on your phone, waiting on triple. No, come on. This is how you change a tire.
Yikes, man.
That's manhood. And I don't want to reduce manhood to changing tires and standing up when you use the bathroom. Yeah. But y'all get my point. Mm-hmm. But it only happens when somebody that's gentle enough, yet also firm enough,
stern enough,
gentle enough not to scare you. Because some guys, because of poor socialization, they think the only way to make a man out of you is punching you in the chest, and telling you what you're not doing. And if you're not careful, you gonna run him away.
Yeah,
and he's now intimidated by manhood.
Agreed.
He's now scared of manhood, and so I don't want that.
Yeah.
And now you so what do? You seek the refuge and the comfort of your sisters and your and now you swung to the other extreme.
Yeah.
You know?
And that's real. That's super real, man.
I said, thank you so much. Can I say,
we're glad you're back, Erynn. Thank you.
Hallelujah to God. Hell yeah. To your point earlier about, like, as men, we naturally want to compete.
Right.
This really came to me as I thought about my college experience. I found it necessary to be intentional about linking up with brothers that have a similar spirit that you have, but don't have the desire to necessarily go to the same places, right? So, like, Kenneth is my brother from college. You know, we have a similar spirit. We see eye to eye on most things, but there's places that Kenneth desire to go in life that I don't want to be at.
And vice versa.
And vice versa, right? So we're all on our own journey. We're going on our own pathway, because if we didn't have that, me and Kenneth's relationship as brothers wouldn't be genuine.
Right.
Because I'd be trying to figure out, let me see what Kenneth is doing. So, you know what I'm saying? So I would encourage you, young brothers that are looking for the right brotherhood, be around people that are comfortable with being on a different freeway than you know, going in a different direction, but, you know, still understand and support you. So,
and to that, Perkins had actually told me about a dream, and he was like, "Hey, man, I saw me and you, and we were on two different sides of the fence, but at the end of it, we still ended up at the same place." He's like, "Yo, there are lanes that we both are gonna operate in, but we've got to stay in those lanes, and we're gonna get to the destinations that we need to get to. We're still gonna be at the same place." And I think sometimes the issue in brotherhood ends up being you're crossing into your brother's lane. Right. Mm-hmm. Like, my biological brother is into sports. I'm not telling him how much weight he needs to put on the bar. No. And he's not telling me the word of the Lord. Right. That's just not something that we're doing. Like, we each know what lane. Hey, I need to lose weight. I'm going to my brother to ask him, what do I need to eat? Right. What should I be doing?
Definitely.
And I think that if we acknowledge and honor our brothers for what they do, exactly. I think that brotherhoods across the country and across like kingdom and church and all that would be better. Because we respect and honor people for what they do. I know Perkins does amazing work in graphic design. I don't do graphic design.
Right.
But I'm going to send people to Perkins to get their work done.
Yeah. But it's so sad in one sense, because you know how many people know they don't do graphic design, have no desire to do graphic design.
Right.
But won't send somebody that needs graphic design.
That's so foolish.
To him.
That really grinds my gears.
For no other reason than I can't let him get ahead of what he's doing.
Just jealous.
You don't. That's not even your. You don't. You have. There's no competition.
That's back to identity.
Back to identity, because I value myself based on how much higher I am in my mind than you.
Correct. And when you don't have one, you'll accept whatever you're given.
Exactly.
Accept where you are. Accept where you are. Because I'm tired of like brothers, yo, if you're not there, you're just not there. Okay? And you see your big brother, you see your brother, you're like, man, we're taking the city by storm. No. I'm taking the city by storm. You're just here. Like, stop. What? No. We're traveling as a country preacher. No. I've been around this country preaching. You what? So when you know your space and know your
appreciate me.
Honor me.
Praise me. I'm worthy.
I have brothers
Hallelujah.
like that'll reach out to me like, oh, yo, that's sick. I mean, we partners with YLC. Nigga, you are now.
Glory be to the name of our God.
Glory to God. I was a little passionate. I was a little too passionate. Sorry, Elder. Sorry, Dr. Moore. I was a little too passionate. I would like to apologize.
We're just so glad to be a multicultural ministry with sponsors from different sectors of society and red and yellow, black and white.
They're precious in His sight.
They're all precious.
All I'm saying.
We also want to add that the views expressed, go to me right here. The views, can we zoom in post? The views expressed on this gray table talk are the views of Aaron Perkins alone, and not to be confused with that of YLC Studios, the Young Leaders Conference, Spirit and Truth Ministries, the M3 Center, or any of our subsidiaries. God bless you. Back to you.
I really, I just want y'all to know, stop getting confused. Okay? Stop taking credit for other people's work. No. You just stay in your lane.
Well, hold on now, because I'm kind of
I just feel like
on the fence a little bit, because I do feel like you don't take the credit of somebody else's work, but you need to learn how to appreciate the fact that somebody in the camp is winning.
Right.
Because when you win, we all win.
Right.
I see that.
Yeah.
And that's
right.
cool.
You know what I'm saying?
But you got to realize that you win it. Like, here's what I'm saying. If me and you, we brothers, I'm not walking around here telling people, yeah, the studio, I mean, we making it happen. I'm making it happen in here. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we putting it together. We doing this. We having meetings. No, this is not my studio. This is Elder's studio. So, like.
Yeah, it is. But what I think what Antwaun is saying, though, if back to the relationship piece.
Brotherhood.
If you're, in fact, tell him what you want to say, and you approve it, then you say it.
Gotcha.
That's what I need you. You tell him. Translate. All right. for the covenant, for the brotherhood piece, I do think that there should be shared success. So here's the thing. Yes, it is Mark's studio, but you work here.
Right.
Everything, all of us work here in different capacities. Ken is on campus most of the time right now, but when he's on breaks, like now, he comes down, he's adding tremendous value.
Right.
Antwaun adds tremendous value to what we do. Mm-hmm. Aaron adds tremendous value to what we do. So from that perspective, while one person might have the majority of the burden of ownership, every contribution you make
helps.
Is a part of our success. Because it's my studio, but it wouldn't be my studio long if I had no help.
Correct.
That's true.
Because I can't do that, and I don't do graphics. You do graphics. So I'm gonna have a studio with no graphics.
No.
So I need graphic designers. I'm gonna have a studio with no. We're gonna have services with no music. Ain't nobody gonna sing all mimes, all interpretive dance. I don't even like mimes. Oh, jeez. I'm so sorry. It's a saying too much spirit. I don't though. Open up your mouth and say something. I'm sorry. You make me nervous.
Say yes, Lord.
The Lord is coming back with a shout. Why are you silent?
With your heart and soul, say yes.
The 47-minute. Yes! Yes! That's the worst sermonic selection in the history of sermonic select. I'm waiting to preach, and they're done.
I'm calling you higher. I'm calling you higher.
Yes!
I'm calling you higher.
Yes! Okay, they're done. I'm getting up to preach. Yeah. Oh. Robes be wrinkled, just
Wrinkled in the back, pleats messed up.
That is so good.
face paint running. I'm scared. I don't like this.
Stiff.
I don't like none of this.
It's just
Open up your mouth and say something.
Well, the problem is when they have the paint, they start talking because you're not supposed,
No, what
you're
kill
not
me?
supposed to
Antwaun,
talk.
What kill me is the mimes that don't be talking but be mouthing the words as they dancing. We're not supposed to see you singing to yourself. You didn't practice your routine.
It's okay for them the moment we're not supposed to hear
No,
them.
you're not supposed
It's
to.
when they
That's like
start
reading with
talking.
your finger under the word. I will not eat green eggs and ham. I will not eat them, Sam. I will not eat them in a box. I will. That's what it looked like when you were mime and you mouthing the words trying to keep up. No, have you noticed we don't have no mime team in Spirit and Truth?
but elder.
People
That's
have
what I'm
to
saying.
apply.
But that,
I know they keep applying.
That's
We're going to bring them on.
Question is,
no.
22.
The answer is no.
will we have a mime ministry? And the answer is no. No.
Now, elder, you said something like we're all a part of the team,
Right.
but I'm talking about that friend you had that y'all were brothers in kindergarten, and y'all stopped talking for 17 years. And then you start building the studio, and it was like, "Hey, hello."
Oh,
hey.
that's a different
But that's clout
story.
chasing. That's
Like,
not
and-
brotherhood though.
That's what I'm
And I
talking
think that's what he was
That's
kind
my
of
experience.
I'm
That's-
with you on
The
that.
clout
That's my testimony.
chasing is a whole problem.
That's my testimony. That's
And
all.
honestly, and I think
experience.
that when you're not doing it and you notice who's around you, when you make it, you've got to make sure you remember those who were with you when you were
that's-
building.
Now, that's real.
Okay, now let me get back to this is why brother matters, because you are so right, but I got to give a perspective that I only got through maturity.
Okay.
I'm a true example. In building Young Leaders Conference BC before COVID, y'all have heard the story. We started with 50 people, went from 50 to 100, 100 to 200. First conference 300, second conference 1,500, third conference 3,000. Most recent conference 5,000 plus. All right, I had a chip on my shoulder. I'm gonna be very honest. I had a chip on my shoulder because there were some people that I reached out to when we had the 100 and the 200. The handful. There were some people I reached out to,
Yikes.
read my message,
No, they didn't leave you on red.
left me on red.
No, they didn't. They didn't do you like that.
Hey, big bro, I'm 20-something. Hey, big bro, I really love what you're doing. Do you think maybe you could give me some advice on how to do it? And read it, no response. Right.
Yikes.
See, I'm a sucker for that. I'm gonna go every time.
Okay.
I kill and stretch myself. So.
But see, I had people wouldn't help, wouldn't reach back, wouldn't say nothing. Fast forward.
Hey, Doc, you mind putting me on, Doc?
Little bro, nephew. Literally,
how
we
it
don't never give
Oh,
names.
how the great table turns.
Oh, how the great table turn. Never give names, but it's the principle, not the person. There was an example. I remember getting a message from somebody, really, landed on thick, really asking essentially to come and speak. When you gonna have me, Doc? And I scrolled up, and the last message was me sending something to them years ago. Hey, I don't want any money. I asked, do you mind answering a question about when you did your such and such? How did you? It was an innocent young preacher, ignorant question. No response. Next message, when you gonna have me, Doc? Now, here's the point I'm making. For a while, that was fuel for me, right? I was on some, back then you didn't want us. Now we hot, y'all. That was my mindset. But the Lord had to mature me and say, wait a minute. First of all, you can't be mad at people for when they discovered you.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at everybody that didn't support then as if they were just out to get me. They didn't know me.
Wow.
That's real.
The other thing the Lord had to share with me was, wait a minute, son. If I would have given you that relationship then, you would have messed it up.
Good.
You didn't know what questions to ask. You didn't know how to, you weren't ready for it. The insight you needed then, it didn't match. You didn't need what they had. You need it now. So now I've opened that door. So I had to forgive people for withholding support. That's how I processed it, that I wasn't ready to receive. And so I say that to you, to the statement you made, and there's so many, just something to consider.
Yeah.
There is a point you reach where, you always are loyal to those that were with you, but you also have to make sure that you don't punish people for discovering you late. I remember feeling when we got 5,000 people, man, all y'all should have been there when it was 300. We weren't ready for them then.
Yeah, that's real.
We didn't, and watch this. Here's how the tables turn. As God begins to, elevate in a sense, you begin to get more protective of who you share your influence with.
Correct.
Because I don't know who sent you. I don't know what you coming for.
That's right.
I don't know what you're trying to get. And wait a minute, if I'm who's nowhere near, there, wherever there is, if I'm hesitant sometimes, I gotta remember how they felt. You got to know when to process and when to forgive and when not punish people. It's not their fault they didn't find you until they did. Because here's the crazy thing. Okay, let's use this. Let's use this way. While different ones of us at the table might be more involved in sports or interested than others, we all know who Michael Jordan is. Correct. We all know who LeBron James is. We all know who Kobe Bryant was. However, do you realize that none of them are the highest paid athlete in the world? Highest paid athlete in the world is a soccer player. Now think about this. If he walked into the room next door, I would have no idea who he was.
Man, that's real.
Wow.
As big as he legitimately is, I don't know it. So what makes us think that because I got 10,000 followers now, the world, everybody's supposed to, don't nobody know you?
That's real. Yeah.
And I can't punish people. Last time I'm going to say it. You can't punish people for discovering you when God exposed you to them.
That's good.
Everybody is a nobody to somebody.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's good.
That's good.
That's very good.
That's the truth.
Yeah.
Wow.
That is powerful. I'm glad you shared that testimony.
I'm telling you.
Because now
it helped me get free. I'm not being funny.
Well, now I'm not going to feel so.
I'm telling you.
I'm not going to be, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm not. I am a sucker for the underdog type situation. You know what I'm saying? I'm a huge sucker for the underdog. There's something I can do to kind of help them out or whatever. Because you, like you said, young church kid, I am always conscientious of that. Yeah. Like if I got a young kid or somebody like that, I automatically think about myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, okay, yeah, what I got this on Friday. Well, maybe.
Right.
You know what
and so you want to stay sympathetic, but you also have to be realistic. You're going to have, what happens when you have 50 young church kids?
Correct.
And that's why we love your videos. We love your music. We downloaded your single. We lean back when we sing. I'm having a concert on the 5th. Well, wait a minute. I got 3 engagements on the 5th.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So somebody's going to be, something going to come short, right?
Yep.
You know, and that's where, to quote you, intention matters.
Yes.
So
yeah,
I just think that's something
I
to
look
consider.
at everything politically. You know, I think everybody's political. I mean, hold on a minute, but it's because I'm trying to figure out your strategy because you invite this person, you doing that, okay, and so I had to learn.
Wait, you're a skeptic?
Yeah. I'm skeptical about people, especially in the church.
You have to be careful with. He wouldn't be a skeptic. He can be skeptical of some things, but I wouldn't consider him a skeptic.
Oh, okay, praise God. Thank you for
defending
me.
You know, when you throw out skeptic, some people think you into witchcraft and all that.
Oh, I'm not into the witch. No.
He's not a heretic.
Heretic.
Oh
But I am
gosh.
skeptical of certain people and certain things.
It's you know
Very
what?
leery, very leery.
It is good to see
like them
see if we're
foolishness.
talking about brotherhood. It is
And
good
he
to see
covered me
this
just
work
like
in real time.
We cover over here.
And I know
Come
you
on
guys
in.
didn't try to do that, but you know what I'm saying. That
No, but
was
people,
It's natural.
he helped you out. Yeah.
and this is what I told Kenneth. People would invite Kenneth because of his name. And then they'd be like, oh, we had Kenneth Mose. And it's like, he'd be like, no, they just really like, they my brother. I'd be like, Kenneth, no, they're not. They just want your name. And so he's like, I guess they did just want my name. Like, yeah, like, and so I look at things politically because in politics, if I want to go up, I got to get somebody that's up. So it'll bring me up. Like, that's how it works.
Association.
Association.
It's all about association. So I've always been like leery of people like that.
So I know we got to wrap this thing up. We've been going for a while. I hope that you guys have heard something that has encouraged you, even just caused you to think. You know what I'm saying? One thing that I want to briefly hit on before we leave is we really throw out that term bro.
Way too bad.
Brother. But the thing
Don't
is,
bro me if you don't know me.
but I also feel like it is more than just the name, but the action and the relationship and the what happens behind it, right? Because I feel like we're all brothers and sisters, like in the kingdom, right?
Yeah.
And so it is easy for me to say, "What's up, bro? How you doing, man?" Whatever. But that doesn't mean that you're going to have the same function,
Yeah.
right? Now, is that confusing?
Yes.
It can be, right? But my thing is, if I'm under the idea that, hey, this is kingdom, you're a kingdom citizen, you're a kingdom citizen, you're a kingdom citizen. We are all brothers in the faith, right? So it's easy for me to say, hey, what's up, bro? How you doing, man?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But that doesn't mean that you're going to serve in the same function. Hey, bro, how you doing? Never met you before. Hey, bro, how you doing?
Yeah.
Never met you before. Hey, bro, how you doing? Let me tell you about what's going on with me.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So how do you
But
guys
let me ask you
feel
this.
about approaching that?
Everybody you greet with bro, do you see as a brother? Because I think, you know,
Brother in the faith.
I call everybody bro, but a brother is born for adversity.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So it's folks like, what's up, bro? How
That's
you doing?
the word.
You know,
And that's-
but when I'm going through, I'm not calling you to pray because you ain't got no prayer life.
Nope.
I'm not calling you to fight, you know, because you don't care.
Yeah.
You want to
Correct.
see me go down. So I think that treating everybody. I'm asking. I'm not telling you. I'm asking you. I guess. Are you saying that maybe there's a distinction between how I treat people, but between how I treat people and how far I trust people?
Yes.
I'm gonna treat you like a brother, but I'm not gonna necessarily trust you like a brother until you prove to be a brother.
And I think the treatment is different as well. You know what I'm saying? Because when I say bro, that is a very generic, like
Yeah.
casual type situation. Hey, bro, you know, you're. I know that we're a multicultural
I'm glad you know.
organization.
Yeah.
Some of these don't know.
I mean, you know,
That's my G.
bro, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, bro. So is bro as in, you know, we share a cultural similarity, and then it's bro because, hey, you're part of the kingdom too, whatever, bro. But just because we have the same name doesn't mean that the function is the same. So when I say
onto something.
treatment, it's almost like, you know, you're a brother, I love you. If you're in need, I'll help you out. Now, if I have a brother that treatment is a little different.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm my brother's keeper.
There
You know what I'm saying? So there's hardly anything that he can ask me to do within reason that I won't do. You know what I'm saying?
And I think you're on to something, because I think a lot of the heartache, heartbreak, disappointment we see is because we broke too fast.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So now you on Facebook crying, these folk, you can't trust folk. Folk stab you in the back. Well, you shouldn't have given them a knife so soon.
Correct.
Yeah, I've known you for 5 minutes, and I done confided all my traumas and everything that's going on, and you know everybody I don't like, and And now when you do what people tend to do, and you overshared, Now here it is. Now you're bashing the entire institution of brotherhood.
Correct.
Because you made a bad choice.
Irresponsible. Correct.
I think we got to be careful about, especially it's still the top of a year.
That's good.
We got to be careful about, beyond just the brotherhood conversation, we got to be careful about attaching ourselves too soon.
Yeah.
Correct.
The Bible said, and I hate to keep, I don't hate to keep going back to that. The Bible says, know them that labor among
That's
you.
right. You don't apologize for it. You go to the word. That's right.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah, believe
Know them that labor among you. And when we that's how folks get in relationships, in romantic relationships, business relationships, platonic relationships. So much heartache could be avoided if you would have taken the time. But back to that whole social media culture, I got to collect people. I got to collect friends. I got to collect. So now I'm knighting someone a friend who has not been vetted.
So ignorant.
That's dangerous.
And now you talking about you can't trust folk. No, you can trust folk if you test them first.
Test the trust. Yeah.
Let's let time
Process.
process. That's the word. Let's let time work its job. Let's I'm not gonna tell you all my deepest, darkest fears and struggles and let me see how you handle it. Hey, how are you?
and I've experienced that before.
Yeah.
Where I've met somebody before, and we share similarities, whether it's just working in ministry, It's like, oh well, those are your real friends over there. Absolutely. You're 100% correct, and that doesn't mean that we don't have the potential to be, brothers or whatever. But this is time spent.
Yes.
And you immature if you think that you're just supposed to get that. Because I like your Jesus had the multitude. He had, let's jump straight to it. He had the 12. Mm-hmm. In the 12, he had the 3.
Yes, sir.
And in the 3, he had the 1.
Yep.
Yeah.
And how dumb would I be as somebody in the multitude to be mad? How come he ain't asked me to wait up and pray? You don't know him like that.
You don't know him like that.
Oh my God.
I done walked on water with him.
Me and Perkins have been dealing. Me and Perkins had a very similar circumstance, because there's an individual who reached out to me. He's like, hey, you my bro. This is always messaging me, this, that, and the third. And, I just try to be friendly. Perkins is like, bro, you need to stop that. You just too nice. You're too nice. I'm like, bro, I'm just trying to be nice. But I had to be
Kenneth
clear.
responds to strangers.
Kenneth is a Christian. Don't let him steal your witness.
Stranger danger.
Don't let him steal your witness,
He's
Kenneth.
hey, bro, you've never met Kenneth before. Why would you ever say that to him?
The dude asked his friends invite him to.
If you message me on Messenger and you're like, hey, Aaron, and we've never talked before, you're not getting a response.
Oh my God.
Wait a minute. Now I think
You done missed some opportunities.
This is why-
That's too far.
This is
Yeah.
automatically
I don't completely
a scammer.
listen to him.
I mean, I'm talking about those people that you just confirmed, and seconds later you
Oh
get.
no, I don't.
Hey,
I don't like that. However,
It's social media.
So
It's a place for connections to be made. You know how many registrations and how many
Scam.
books I done sold from how are you?
again, this is the reason why big brothers are necessary.
Speak to folk, man.
Because
See-
you on one extreme taking candy from
What's in the back of the van? What's in the back of the van? I want to go for a ride. I love ice cream. He gonna get kidnapped. He gonna wake up in a bathtub of ice missing a kidney.
No, but on a serious.
Bro, all you had to do was ask.
No, but on a serious note, I had to tell him. I was like, "Hey, man," because he's like, "Yeah, I think I feel like you're more of blood than anything." And I was like, "Hey, man," and I had to be straight up. I was like, "Yo, I don't look at you like that." And I said, I don't force brotherhoods. I don't force those relationships. And one thing that I understood about brotherhood is access is imperative.
Yeah.
You've got to make sure that you either are giving access or restricting access. And I really had to learn,
That's
like,
actually really good.
you've got to restrict some access to all of these bros, because realistically, the access I give Aaron as a brother, it's not the access I'm giving these other folk that I run into, because like the adversity, like we've been through so much crazy stuff. Like
Whose fault was it?
both of us.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes it was our family. Like, we have to understand that you have to have just as much Shalous. Let me just say that. To be this
For real.
close to me. Like,
For real.
To be as close as Kenneth is to me, your family got to be just as prominent, just as much Shalous. Just, because.
What are y'all doing?
That was so elitist. That was so
very
elitist.
No, I don't
It's
mean
a
it like
pride
that.
spirit over there.
Empire.
Your family
but I'm
has to
just
have servants like mine. What is happening?
You're gonna make
Kingdom.
people think that they can't connect with us.
No,
He said he's not gonna respond.
I'm trying to
That
build.
is
he's trying to get booked.
I'm trying to build.
Trying to get booked and I've been doing it.
I'm trying to get, like,
Oh my gosh.
Mute me. Just mute me.
I'm trying to get like 5 digits worth of Instagram followers.
Oh, wow.
This is not getting me there.
Hey,
Well,
give him your Instagram right now. Y'all follow Kenneth. We can do that now.
_Moles. MOALES. If you can't spell it. Some people can't spell the last name. They'll just put MOLES. So I just make sure.
I think we're laughing
sort
at the
that out.
smell part, but it's fine.
Yeah.
I'll let you
I
know.
just want to be clear though. Like, I didn't mean it like that.
You did.
I
That's
just think that-
That's the only way to mean
I
that.
just think that
Your
real-
family has to be as prominent as
Wow.
No, I
mine.
just like there's
bad.
some things that we have.
I
gone
don't act
through.
like that. That's not me. That came out
Like,
his
Kenneth,
mouth.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's some things that our family has gone
Throw
through.
your brother.
Hit reverse.
Like,
Boom, boom.
No, but it's happened before. He's like, "Hey, bro, you're the only one I can talk to about this because you literally just went through this." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's what I mean. Not like
Okay.
we gotta be.
Now I see what you're saying. Yeah.
I'm not trying to be
So he's pretty much saying like, hey,
hot under this
Is
bus."
it getting better for you? 'Cause
there
it's-
are
Oh, it's getting deeper and deeper in this hole.
this
Okay.
this brotherhood thing that he was speaking to. It's like, hey, you can be my brother as it pertains to different areas because that's something that you've experienced. And that's something that we've already communicated about. So being that we have an understanding about these certain things, I know I can always go to you if I got this certain problem.
Right.
Because I'm not telling Larry what I'm telling Aaron. Because me and Larry don't, I'm just using a name.
Say Larry mad. He going off right now. Your phone
Say,
gonna ring.
You Larry? No, you Larry.
Your phone gonna
But
ring.
I don't even know if Larry can handle the darkness I felt while being in divinity school.
Wow.
I went to Perkins like, bro, it's dark, and I don't see no light right now. I need you, bro, to pray for me, and we need to talk through some of this stuff that they teaching, because I feel like I'm going crazy. I can't have that brotherhood conversation with everybody.
He was going crazy.
That-
He was going crazy, and you know what I'm saying? But when I got on
He
my
hit
face,
reverse again. Boom,
Thanks, bro.
I got on my face, and the Lord released the crazy.
On that note, we gotta wrap this
gotta
up.
wrap
We
it
gotta
up.
we gotta put a bow on this. These two. Here's what we want you to do though. We want you to let us know several things. Number one, should we bring this back? Should we bring this back? I think we had a good time, but we want to hear from you.
definitely.
Number two, here's the second thing we want to know: how much you love the new name. Great Table Talk. That's all I want to hear from you. Just tell me, inbox us now. Put in the comments how it's the best name ever, best name we heard tonight. It's a winner. It's a hit. I see it on T-shirts, billboards. Tell us how much you love the new name, Great Table Talk, where we cancel and really confront, rather, the gray areas, right? But then we need you to make sure you have shared now. tag your brothers, right? Let's make healthy, strong, godly, masculine men in church. Let's make that a thing again, right?
Yeah.
Let's make authentic conversation and the ability as men to say, I don't know. I'm wrestling with this. I'm struggling with this. I need help with this. Let's make that a thing. Be sure to subscribe, all right? Do that now. We're going to go around real quick. Kenneth has given you his name and username, but I want to hear it again. Kenneth, one more time, name and username.
Kenneth Moles III, and my Instagram is Ken_Moles, Moales.
In case you can't smell it, all right? Right here, we got who?
Erynn Perkins. That's ERYNNPERKINS.
You don't want to talk in the mic? You don't want me to hear you? No.
I'm sorry, Erynn Perkins. You follow me, If you
don't DM him, though, because he will not respond.
He's not going to
you
respond.
can DM me if you come correct.
You said if they say, hi, how are you?
No, it was like, don't be weird. Just don't be weird. Y'all know what that means.
Okay.
So I don't think some people.
Do you want to make $500 today? Like, no.
Well, that's a scam.
That's a scam.
Yeah.
Talk among yourselves. All right. Here, we have, say bye to the minstrel, the Levite himself, the rabbi.
God bless. Where's that music coming from?
Oh, he's lifting his kingdom?
I didn't know that was me.
You were listening to yourself?
Wow.
Well, first of all, that's Bible study.
Vainglory.
I didn't know that was, I'm sorry. That's Bible. I didn't hear that. First, it's Bible study. Let's start there. Make sure you subscribe so you can hear. I didn't even touch my phone. That's confirmation.
That was confirmation that somebody needs to be listening to Bible study. They need to play it
That's a word.
directly after you get finished
That's a
listening to
word.
this.
That's
Go
a
listen to
word.
Bible study.
Yes. This is
Antwaun Cooks. You can follow me on IG, Antwaun Cooks. Facebook, Antwaun Cooks.
TikTok.
Am I on TikTok?
I feel old.
Ask your assistant.
You know, I'm joking. I love you, bro. Wow.
Bang,
Bang, got him. Bang, bang, bang. He's still shooting. I thought he was done.
I'm going to go to Harvard, go to the back of that van where the man is giving out the free can.
You gonna find
That you
Kenneth
go
tied
to-
up.
And that's what I'm
He asked if I wanted cake.
that's what
He asked if I wanted ice cream. I love ice cream.
I'm a real boy. I'm a real.
And I'm Mark Moore Jr. You can follow me on social at MMoore Jr. This has been the first episode of Great Table Talk. Amen? Amen.
Brother.
Oh, brother, where art thou?
No. There ain't no, oh, brother, where art thou? Ain't no brother, ain't no locker room.
I've yielded to the great table.
There we go. It's great table talk.
You've agreed to the Great Table Talk?
Yeah, I have.
I'll submit to that as well.
See?
Even now, submit.
See, come on. Unity brotherhood is taking over right now. And so we thank God for it. We love you. We thank God for you guys. Hit share, and we will see you next time. Y'all take care.
Peace.